Infinity Space was established with the vision of transforming professional education in Sri Lanka by blending technology with human spirit. Infinity Learning Space is an intellectual assembly of a vibrant panel of lecturers who teach with passion and enthusiasm in a world-class digital learning platform. Infinity Space, your personal learning space. Our brand stands for professionalism and integrity, and we operate beyond financial return to nurture the next generation of professionals by providing best-in-class educational service to our nation. Infinity's integrated learning module created by a panel of veteran lecturers provides you a unique learning experience. We provide distilled essential theory from A to Z through high-quality recorded video. Our exam preparation module provides highly exam-focused content for the repeated students. We bring two-way learning by providing you the facility to request on-demand live sessions on complex topics. Infinity Platform provides you a self-learning module with auto-marked MCQs and other features. You can purchase the modules at affordable prices. Our intellectual capital is an unmatched and an unparalleled panel of highly capable lecturers who have outstanding lecturing credentials accomplished through years of experience. We invite you to learn with passion and enthusiasm with our renowned panel of lecturers. Access your personal learning space at any time from anywhere and watch any number of times until your exam day. Log into www.infinitylearningspace.lk.
Then why should we wait more to complete our CA when you have Infinity Space? Infinity Space is one of the leading online CA education institutes in Sri Lanka with the vision of transforming professional education in Sri Lanka by blending technology with human spirit, of course powered by outstanding lecturers. What is exciting about Infinity Space is we can watch anytime, any number of times with zero data cost. In order to proceed with the webinar, first of all, let me introduce Mr. L.F. Suranga Idunil with over 17 years of corporate experience, produced first Advanced Audit and Assurance Prize winner in the country after 21 years. Next, Mr. Dasun Mendis, over 17 years of corporate experience, produced one World Prize winner and 16 National Prize winners, over 14 years of lecturing experience. Mr. Chandana Jagat produced 23 prize winners in CA exams, over 21 years of lecturing experience, and a seasoned lecturer for leading professional qualifications. Mr. Ruchir Pereira, over 15 years of corporate experience, produced several local prize winners for financial management and management accounting subjects. Mr. Nilendra Vitanage, over 12 years of corporate experience, produced 17 winners in CA exams, over 8 years of lecturing experience. Next, we have Mrs. Navanjali Jayasegara, over 9 years of practicing experience, produced chartered prizes for 5 consecutive marks exams for corporate taxation. Let's move on with the webinar. My first question will be directed to Mr. Dasun Mendis. The question will be, why should students finish CA in 2023 and how important is it to finish it during the next year? Over to you, Mr. Dasun Mendis.
Okay, let me ask this question from the students. Why do you want to become a chartered accountant? Have a good income. So which means you need to have the financial freedom. You should be able to buy what you want when you have money, right? Become a chartered accountant, get a good salary, and you are financially free. You can buy what you want. Or else you would say that because of the social status, because chartered accountants is a prestigious qualification. You can mention in your passport you are a chartered accountant. So it is a globally accepted profession, chartered accountancy. In addition to that, it's not just a profession, it's a profession with public accountability. Public, you have a, due to the public, because the financial statements, what you prepare, what you certify is referred by the public, and they make decisions based on the information that you produce. So that's why people do chartered. That's why they love the profession of chartered accountancy. Then if you are at the final stage, now you just have only, you are actually at the final stage. So one more hurdle. So you complete the strategic level, then you can complete the case study and become a chartered accountant. So 2023 is the year that you all need to focus that I'm going to complete the exams. Because why? Under the current context, it is so important because all of us should accept that we are in a economic crisis, right? So in this situation, some people want to migrate. Now, if you are planning to migrate, having the qualification, having the membership is very important because there's a big difference. There's a big value addition when you have the qualification because it can be abroad, it can be here. So before you go to the interview, you have to send you a CV. When you have the qualification, that is a real value addition. Then if you're a person who's staying in Sri Lanka, right, you don't want to migrate, so you want to stay, you have a very good job market at the moment. The reason is actually a lot of vacancies, opportunities are created because some people are migrating. A lot of good companies are now actually maybe through headhunters want to recruit the chartered accountants. They call you and ask that, okay, whether you would like to accept this opportunity, right? There's a vacuum in the job market for the chartered accountants, so that it is also important, again, important for you to complete the exams as soon as possible, right? Then when you complete this qualification, you have a lot of exemptions. If I take few examples, now once you complete CA, once you become a member, after completing, right? So the post qualifying experience, if I'm not mistaken, after completing 5 years of post qualifying experience, you can directly apply for the ACCA membership without doing any paper, right? That is one of the recent agreement signed by CA Sri Lanka as well as ACCA. So where you can get the ACCA membership after completing certain number of post qualifying experience, right? Even if you want to become a CIMA member, you just need to do the final case study. So then you can become the CIM member as well. Plus, if you want to migrate to Australia, you can get the CPA Australia qualification just doing one paper of that particular qualification. So opportunities are wide open. So because of that, what I'm encouraging you is don't procrastinate, don't postpone, ensure that you complete your exams as soon as possible. One of the common mistakes that a lot of students are doing is they just take one subject at a time because it is allowed, yes. But remember, when we were doing CA, we had to do all 4 subjects together. If you fail down one subject, then you have to resit for all 4 in the next session. But here, as you can do one by one, a lot of people are taking one at a time. But if possible, take 2 or 3 subjects, right? That would ensure that you complete the qualifications earlier, right? Unless otherwise you have a good course where I can't do it, then you can take one subject. But based on the circumstances, situation, see that whether you can take multiple subjects. Then you can complete the qualifications earlier. So so these are the points what I want to mention of completing the qualification as soon as possible, and I encourage all of you to ensure that 2023 is the year that you would become a chartered accountant.
Thank you, Mr. Dasun Mendis. Next, the question will be forwarded to Mr. Suranga Indunil. The question will be, what is the impact of syllabus revision, and is it impactful for all 4 subjects? Over to you, Mr. Suranga Indunil.
You can hear me properly?
Yes.
Right. So if there is an interruption, let me know. My connection is great. So first of all, I thanks all of these students joining and believing. Having confidence in this session. I'm sure at the end you will realize how powerful it is with all these thoughts shared by our lecture panel. Just beyond launching a course, this is really to inspire you, prepare for the next year in a very challenging time, like Dasun explained. This year, and when I say this year, I refer to 2023, which in another 2 weeks' time. That's a good time really for you to make a big mind shift. So I will cover that probably at the end as well. So your specific question about the syllabus revision, that's another reason that especially at strategic level, I will just touch upon that point because we have a distinguished panel of lecturers for advanced business reporting or SL1 subject, which I would say a multidisciplinary subject focusing on financial reporting corporate governance, right? And other areas like integrated reporting, etc. So this syllabus revision, essentially at strategic level for SL1 paper, because from the beginning it was seen as a challenging paper, and now let me quickly share my screen. I hope let me know whether you can see my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Shahil, because this is a very important point, I want to make it very clear. So Nilendra is also there. Please add if you want to add after my explanation any thoughts, and also students, if you have any questions, please raise. See, this subject SL1 is very challenging for the reason that I mentioned, because originally this was also planned by CA as a subject that gives you holistic picture about financial reporting. So as a chartered accountant, how do you look at beyond numbers? How do you connect strategy, the governance aspect with the numbers, right? So when it comes to this syllabus change, the reason essentially has been previously there is a view that, okay, there is a bigger auditing part in this paper. So there is a misconception that, you know, it's actually, it has been some students understand, okay, there's auditing part and there is we have to do consolidation and auditing standard and all of this confusion, and that it was seen as a challenging paper. Now, to simplify, the current line of thinking is that, okay, take this as one paper. There is no auditing as such, but we are looking especially the area of risk of misstatement. Now, if you look at the current economic crisis, it will hit many companies, and eventually it will hit the balance sheet. And it may be in financial instrument that you are applying the standard, but when it comes to the fair valuation, management may not want to record an asset at fair value, or they want to misstate because they are not happy with that number. So how do you look at financial statement from the lens of risk? So we are connecting CFO's thinking in the revision essentially with the risk perspective, which is not simply audited. So that's a big one. So in that sense, this is going to be just one paper that focuses on consolidation, accounting standard, and that connects to the risk perspective. That's the single biggest change. And then specifically the guideline issued by CA, so far they have clearly mentioned that they are not going to test audit procedures, right? And that all auditing standards, the open books have been removed. Having said that, the knowledge of those are still relevant when it comes to the testing. So I don't go much detail so that it to avoid it becomes a technical session. But the message to students, now there is an exciting chance for you to learn this rich subject. And I want to reiterate that, you know, we have a very unique thing because, you know, even for this subject, you have a choice of your lecturer. So that's something that we always promote. And Nilendra, if you want to add anything now itself, you can add to this. And if not, we can go for second round of questions.
Thank you, sir. Next, the question will be directed to Mr. Chandana Jagat. What are the most common mistakes that students make while studying, and why do they fail exams? It will be an important question directed to Mr. Chandana Jagat.
Thank you so much. And once again, I must extend my sincere gratitude to Infinity for hosting this session just to share our thoughts. Now, at strategic level, I must explain this. Now, most of the students, they do not really understand the gravity of the problem. And these exams, chartered exams, are not any other exams. And they must be under the impression that chartered exams are, you know, similar to university. So what normally happens is just 2-3 weeks ahead of the exam, they will collect whatever they can collect and just start, you know, by hearting or just going through. And they just write something and come. But here it does not apply. The biggest mistake is postponing your studies, thinking that, okay, I have purchased the module, I have enough time. Let me start in a week's time. Let me start in 2 weeks' time. Let me start in 1 month's time. And then when the exams are around the corner, some students call us and say, sir, I bought it, could not study from the very beginning. What should I do now? So when they see the volume of videos, they are, totally shocked. They are taken aback. They're totally flabbergasted. So they can't study, they can't focus. My first advice is to dedicate your time from the very beginning. Every day you need to dedicate, you need to devote time, adequate time, enough time, at least 2-3 hours for your studies, and it has to be completed evenly. You need to complete your studies evenly. You need to give prominence, need to give the attention that the studies deserve. If you are not ready to do that, please stop doing that. You can't do it. You can't do it. If you see the volume, 41 accounting standards, there will be auditing part. And so will be other subjects. I'm doing SL1 plus SL2. You can't do that. The volume is such that you need to dedicate time from the very beginning, evenly over 6 months period, and then you can do it. Second, students following so many classes sometimes, so many cooks spoil the soup. Too much of anything is good for nothing. You need to follow one class properly. So don't go to so many classes. Why? My way of teaching will be different from the pattern of another lecturer. So we will have different opinions and different views and different approaches. So it will be messed up completely. So too much of anything is good for nothing. So you need to follow one class and follow it properly and give it the adequate attention that it deserves. No problem, you can pass the exam. Third, you are not practicing writing properly. Practice makes a perfect man. Rolling stone gathers no moss. Just learning, being good at the subject does not mean that you will pass the exam. No. Practicing to answer the question will be as important as you being good at the subject. Being good at the subject is one concept, and being good at writing the answers for the questions will be completely different. So just because you know the standard, it does not mean that you can pass. And I have experienced that in the class. Why? The expectation will be so much. What they write will be so much. The expectation can be so much, and what you write may be so much. So there will be a massive gap. So how do we solve it? We can fix it. How? You need to follow the revision. Especially our revision classes are live revision classes. And at least we do it for 4 hours a week. And you can raise your concern. And I don't think that everything we take in the videos will be so impressed. There will be certain areas. So we do the way we think is good. So that will not be the perfect one. So you can take part in the live sessions and see what your gray areas are, and you can raise your questions, and then we can clarify then and there. It has to happen. So if I take the statistics of couple of exams, 95% of the students who go through SL1 and SL2 in my batch are the students who attended to live session. One thing, they have the confidence. Why do they come for the live session? They have the confidence. They have studied. They keep updated themselves. So that is why they are coming for live sessions. Others, they are lacking their confidence. So very important. Action verb. This is, there can be mistakes. Even at the point of marking the papers, there can be mistakes. Sometimes the markers can be, chartered accountants who got qualified 30-40 years back, and they have completely forgotten what they have done. So they expect your answer script to be exactly similar to the marking scheme. As a result, you need to make your answer very much close, very much similar to the answer in the answer scheme. How do we do that? Practicing. Practice. You need to practice. Come to the revision classes, follow revision classes. You need to write your answers in a way that you can satiate the expectations of the examiner. It can be summarizing, it can be compilations, it can be contrasting, it can be comparisons, but you write the same thing. No, it does not work anymore. So you need to devote your time evenly, and you need to follow one class properly, and you need to practice writing. So we do it. How? We start our revision classes starting from June 2015 right up to the last exam. So we did it even last time. So we practice minimum 10 papers. I don't think whether there is something better than that. So we do it. So if you follow these 3 rules, so there's no one who can stop you from being successful at the exam. Just a matter of, making some commitment just over 6 months' time. You work properly. You have to have a plan, and you need to have the action plan, implement it, and do it. No problem. If you take the last time paper, anyone who has done a genuine job can easily get through. So it's not going to be rocket science. You can do it. So my 3 advices are there. Follow classes properly. Don't keep postponing. You need to devote time evenly. And follow one class properly. And you need to join the live classes. And you need to develop your confidence. Stay positive. Being positive does not guarantee the success, but being negative will guarantee the failure. So let me share my other thoughts in the next session. Thank you.
Thank you for this spotted on answer, sir. Nilendra, sir, since the exam will be due in June, what are the best techniques for studying? Please share your knowledge. Thank you.
Hello students, welcome to Infinity and welcome to today's program. And it's a great pleasure, as well as I would say it's a great honor for me as well to come in front of you and with this panel of lectures discuss with you the very important contemporary as well as dynamic topics which I would say many of you are willing to learn, and also many of you are thinking that you should improve. And I would be thankful to the team of Infinity Learning Space, our Infinity team, because these topics, these issues of our students were prevailing, and students were seeking some information, as well as students love to hear from whoever the experts who are here and get their knowledge updated. So before I move on to my discussion area, students, my topic, I just wanted to tell you, you are so awesome set of students, because I'm lecturing for different programs, for universities, for other professional courses, I'm lecturing. So apart from all, right, I can proudly say my chartered accountancy students are the students who are highly committed towards their examinations. I know that because lecturing for business level, corporate level, then strategic level, I know how committed you are. So just to build upon from whatever the information that was discussed previously, just to tell you students, how you have to plan for the next 6 months, how you have to plan for the remaining period of yours towards the exam, and what are the best techniques you can use to excel, master at your studies, right? So that's the topic that I want to discuss with you all. And after this, there will be a kind of a Q&A, and in that, let's discuss furthermore about that. So how you can master the studies and what are the techniques available for you in the coming 6 months. Students, first and foremost, you should have in your mind this fact. CA Sri Lanka, these examinations, right, be it strategic level, be it any other level, these examinations, you have to remember, this is I would say, professional examinations. Professional. These are professional examinations. මේ වෘත්තීය විභාග ළමයි. Professional examinations are a bit different from the educational qualifications that you have. Because these are professional, this is what you normally learn at your job. Right? Part of whatever being tested in the exam are what are the things that you are learning in the job. So, for you to master the coming 6 months of your studies, you have to manage your profession. You have to manage your job also in an effective manner so that it gives you the necessary support towards your exam. So, number one, students, I know all of you, the strategic level students, are now employed, right? I would say almost all of you are employed, and there may be few who are in the transition period. Keep the transition period decade. They may be, let's say, changing from job to job. So most of you are employed. If you are employed students, number one, during coming 6 months, you have to plan your studies. First thing, number one, plan your study leaves well. Remember what are the dates that you are planning your study leaves. Okay? Study leave දවස් ටික ළමයි මතක් කරගන්න. Right? So don't wait until the very last moment to put on your study leaves, because by that time we don't know what is happening in your organization. So sometimes your organization may be running through a tight deadline by that time, maybe coming towards the examination date. Examination date එක වෙනකොට ඔයාගේ organization එක tight deadline එකට වැඩ කරන්න වෙන්න පුළුවන්. At that time you are unable to get your leaves. So in that time, students, plan your study leaves well. Today itself or tomorrow, students, get that your calendar, your organizer, your calendar and organizer එක අරගෙන out of the allocated leave for you for the 2000 to the next year, ඊළඟ අවුරුද්දට තියෙන ඔයාගේ leaves ඔයාගේ calendar එක අරන් plan out the dates for studies. So I would say if you have 14 to 21 days of leave available for next year, utilize about 6 or 7 of that, right? 6 or 7 of that leave in the first 3-4 months for studies purpose. 2 leaves per month or 1.5 days, right? දවස් එකහමාරේ මාස 3කට 4කට එකහමාරේව 3-4ක් ගන්න. Plan out in that way. Don't wait until the last moment, because we don't know because of the country situation, because of the global economic situation, what will happen towards your organization. So therefore, plan out your study leaves right now, today, tomorrow itself. And if your employer, if your, let's say, superior is so familiar and so close to you, tell him, sir, boss, or brother, I'll be going on leave on these days. This is my leave plan for the next year. So plan out, and on those days, allocate sufficiently to study that month's work. Allocate that time to study that month's work. That's what I have done during my time, a decade ago. Right? මීට අවුරුදු 10කට 11කට ඉස්සෙල්ලා මම plan කරේ එහෙමයි ළමයි. Right? Before the exam, before about 5-6 months to the exam, I identified these are the dates that I am putting in my leave. So I planned my leave and I informed that to my employer as well. And also towards the end, I will keep about another few days of study leave for me to study. So then I have cleared my backlog during the first 5-6 months itself. So that's number one. Plan out your leave. Leave tika plan kargan. Number two, second thing, students, very important. Remember, this is the final hurdle you have towards the exam. මේක ඔයාගේ exam එකට තියෙන final hurdle එක. So your dedication, your attempt, your punch towards the paper is so important. And remember, because of that, you need to give your 100%. I will not tell you that it's 200%, you have to give your 100%. So be true to yourself, get yourself into the shoes of that you drive your destiny. Right? You drive your path, you drive your vision, you drive who you want to be. So take in charge of your life, right? In the coming 6 months, remember that you have a task to achieve. Remember that you have to goal. Remember that you have a, I would say, objective to conquer. So therefore, be true to yourself. Take yourself away from distractions next 6 months. ඊළඟ මාස 6 distractions වලින් අයින් කරගන්න ඔයාව. Right? So have some discipline. පොඩි discipline එකක් තියාගන්න. About 2 hours per day you got to allocate for your studies. දවසට පැය දෙකක් studies වලට allocate කරන්න ළමයි. Allocate for studies. Very important. Plan out your leave. So have some leaves before the last moment. Allocate about 2 hours per day for your studies. That 2 hours you can get from anywhere. If you are a person who is familiar with studying late night, have a wash after work, වැඩ ඇරලා පොඩි wash එකක් දාලා, right? Have about 15 to 30 minutes nap, පොඩි power nap එකක් දාලා, පොඩි නිින්දක් දාලා, start thereafter and go towards 2 hours. Or if you are fond of early morning studies, right? Wake up at around 4 a.m. until 6 a.m. do a study, and until 6 to 6:30 have a small nap. 6:30 start කරලා වැඩට යන්න. That's what I did. මම කරෙත් එහෙමයි ළමයි, right? Somehow we have to take time. අපිට වෙලාව හොයාගන්න ඕනේ. If you are married, right? දැන් මෙතන ඉන්න පුළුවන් බැඳපු කට්ටියනේ with children. Tell your spouse, ඔයාගේ spouse ට කියන්න, husband or wife, this 6 months is very critical. So therefore we will, as a family, we will plan out this time. So support me in achieving this. මට මේක achieve කරන්න support කරන්න. So definitely your wife or husband will support you, right? So as a team like Infinity here, we are supporting you. Similar way, your family should also support you. That's next one. Then students, how do you effectively study? Effectively was study karanne කොහොමද? Very important, right? How you are going to study effectively. Very important students, remember that you are no longer this A-level, O-level student. ඔයා දැන් අර A-level, O-level student නෙමෙයි ළමයි, right? You are an adult now. So adults study in a different manner. Adults ලා study කරන්නේ වෙනම විදියකට, right? Can you remember your O-level, A-level days? What you have done? You, I would say, crammed, right? කටපාඩම් theory, ගිරවා theory, crammed hours and hours, still you were not tired. Right? ඒ කාලේ මතකයිනේ. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මතකයිනේ. ඔයා පැය ගණන් study කරා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඒ වුණාට tired නැහැ. O level A level කාලේ. But now what happens? Because of the workload, because of the work stress, students you get tired, right? Traveling by bus, traveling by train, driving your own vehicle itself is a kind of a hassle. So because of that you are getting tired. So therefore adult learning students is different. So during this coming 6 months, එන මාස 6දී coming 6 months, it's very important that you plan out your studies properly. Study ටික plan out කරන්න. From here, Infinity Learning team will send you the recorded videos on a gradual manner. When the video comes from the Infinity team, students, that day or that week itself, finish watching it. ඒ දවසේම නැත්නම් ඒ සතියේම ඒ වීඩියෝ එක බලලා ඉවර කරන්න. Very important. And you have all the platforms, the Telegram platform is there, and you have our contact numbers also. So if you have any doubt, as and when you get the doubt, get it cleared. The podi kale, when you were studying for your O-levels and A-level students, it was not that much of a difficult case. But here you need experiential learning. මෙතන ඔයගොල්ලෝ experiential learning තමයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තියෙන්නේ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ adults ලා. You are adults. Your thinking, your mind is different from a kid. So you learn by experience. Agree? ඔයගොල්ලෝ experience එකෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්න. Right? You learn by experience. So everybody, every one of you, I would say, get your doubts cleared. Right? And videos which are coming, watch it on that particular week itself. Don't leave till the last moment. I tell you, don't leave them till the last moment. Right? And prepare smaller mind maps. පොඩි mind maps හදාගන්න ළමයි. ඔයාගේ studies කරගෙන යද්දී පුංචි mind maps ටිකක් හදාගන්න, right? Develop it. Develop that mind map. When you have a mind map, right? A short note. I will also give you short notes. මම short notes දෙද්දී ඒවත් එක්කම ඔයාගේ mind map එකත් පොඩියට ලියාගන්න. පොඩි plan එකක්. A smaller plan. Have it, right? ඒකත් තියාගන්න. As much as possible, talk with your friends. මෙතන ළමයි අර අපි කියන්නේ කට්ටිය එකතු වෙලා පාඩම් කරනවා කියලා. As much as possible, do it. තනියෙන් පාඩම් කරන්න පුරුදු වෙච්ච කට්ටියත් ඇති. There will be people who are used to studying alone, right? එහෙම වුණත් doubt එකක් ආපු ගමන් ටක් ගාලා අපෙන් අහන්න. Plan out in that way. ඒ විදිහට plan කරගන්න. And I can tell you, right, we at Infinity Team, we will be shooting out questions time to time. We are starting our revision sessions, our question sessions, the live sessions, live sessions about, let's say, 2 to 3 months to the exam. මාස දෙක තුනක් තියලා අපි live sessions, question sessions පටන් ගන්නවා ළමයි. So by that time you are ready with the theory. එතකොට ඔයා theory එක ready. Right? So videos ටික එවෙලෙම upload කරපු ගමන් බලන්න ගන්න. Right? That you have to do it. If you don't put this effort, මේ effort එක දුන්නේ නැත්තම් ළමයි, if it doesn't happen, what will happen is that towards the end of the months, right? Towards the end of the program, you are overwhelmed with bulk of work. එහෙම වුණොත් ළමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ අර ගොඩක් වැඩත් එක්ක ඔයා overwhelmed වෙනවා. You are getting overwhelmed with bulk of work. So to avoid that, as and when possible, videos coming, you have to watch them. Right? A plan එකේ යන්න. Plan out your leave, එක important. Number 2, next one, which is very important is students, think that you are learning as an adult. So you have to, watch the videos as and when possible. Use our platforms, discuss whatever the study related topics discuss කරන්න ළමයි. And on the other hand, ඊට අමතරව, what you got to do is, you got to always be in the work. Right? I can still remember during that time when I was studying, I don't know whether it's practical for all of you, right? But when I studied for the office even, I have taken some of my tutorials which were given by the lecturers. So when I get a free time, right? Free time එකක් අහම් පොඩ්ඩක් මම mind map එකේ ඔය ටික බලා ගන්නවා. Because students, I lived with it, right? During that last stages of my CA program, I have lived with the studies. එතකොට තමයි ළමයි pass වෙන්නේ. Then only you are passing. Don't expect that studying at the last moment that you will pass. අවසාන මොහොතේ පාඩම් කරලා ළමයි pass වෙයි කියලා නම් හිතන්න එපා. Never expect that, because it won't happen, right? Because this is a professional examination. Professional matters will be tested, right? And the other thing, write down answers after answers and answers and answers. Questions arang uttara liyan. Here in our program, we are discussing many questions. Our program එකේ අපි questions කතා කරනවා. So whatever answers that we are writing, write it again. Program එකේදී අපි ලියනේවා, class එකේදී කරනේවා, ඒ ප්‍රශ්න වලට උත්තර ආයෙත් ලියන්න ළමයි. මම ලියපු උත්තරේම ආයෙ බලලා copy කරලා ලියන්න. That's how you develop the answering pattern. Because at strategic level, your answering is what is important. Answering තමයි වැඩපුරම වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. ලියලා තමයි ළමයි ගොඩ දාන්න පුළුවන්. නැතුව ප්‍රශ්න වලට suggested solution හරි කාගේ හරි tube එකක් බලලා හරි මේව ගොඩ යන්න බෑ. It won't happen. කොහේ හරි තියෙන වීඩියෝ එකක් බලලා ඒ වැඩේ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. It won't happen. You will get through these students by writing down answers after answers after answers. Right? When we do the questions, those answers, write it, copy and write. Copy කරලා ලියන්න. Then write it on your own thereafter. Copy කරලා ලිව්වට පස්සේ තමන් තනියමුත් ලියන්න ළමයි. It will also help you. It will also assist you in this particular preparation for the exam. Preparation එකට ඒකත් help වෙනවා. And one last point I want to tell you towards your preparation for the paper එකට prepare වෙනකොට තව එක point එකක්. Students, this is not where your operational level knowledge will be tested. Here you will be tested from the perspective of a CFO perspective lamai, right? With the new syllabus change as well as the recent amendments to the syllabus, CEO's perspective will be tested. CEO has to analyze the entire environment. So action verbs that will be coming in your paper will be either to discuss, either to evaluate, either to recommend, either to, I would say, action verbs in lamai, discuss, recommend, analyze. Those will be the action verbs. So be prepared for those type of action verbs. So CEO's perspective means you have to holistically analyze the situation, pros and cons, advantages, disadvantages, this and that. Then only come up with your recommendation or your answer. Detailed evaluation is needed. So very important. I know you all are champions. You came up to this point because you have the knowledge. May level එකට ඔයගොල්ලෝ ආවේ ළමයි knowledge එක හන්දා. So you have it. What we are doing here at Infinity Learning Space, we will polish out your knowledge. අපි ඔයාගේ knowledge එක polish out කරන එක තමයි මෙතන කරන්නේ, right? So be with us, students. we can guarantee you the panel of lecturers who are here will definitely help you. They will assist you because all are veterans in their industry. Years of experience අවුරුදු ගණන් ළමයි, years of experience, wealth of experience, produce multiple prize winners, right? Multiple prize winners. They are the, I would say, best combination that can help you. So students, I know with this and the Infinity team, you will all will succeed in your studies. You all will have a plan. You all will get through, right? So with that, I wish you all the best to everybody. And in the coming 6 months, let's do something good and let's meet up again one day as members of CA Sri Lanka. So all the best to all of you students. I wish you all the best. Good luck.
Thank you for your insightful explanation, sir. Mrs. Nayanjali, with your work experience of 9 years, we would like to know how to balance studies and training or working pressure. Over to you, Mrs. Nayanjali.
Okay, now the hi to all of you, and with reference to your question which asked, which is the how you are going to plan for your examination with the working pressure. Then anyhow, it's something a win-win situation, because anyway for you to do the examination, then you should have to have a training, or if that's mean the practical training for you to sit for the examination. It is something compulsory for you should have. Then therefore, anyway, Lamai, if you like or not, then you have to balance the work life, that's mean your training as well as your examination. That is one of the achievement which you have to do within the course of your examination. That's mean at the till the end of your chartered examination to be for you to come out as the chartered accountant. And in that particular period, anyway, you have to manage your work life as well as your studies, or rather your examinations. It's a correlated. Then with this compulsory requirement, even me, I'm here after doing that part, and for you all also there while doing that part. Okay, then in that situation, with the experience and all, what I can tell about this managing your studies as well as your examination, then what are the things you should, or rather compulsorily, which you have to do? If I have taken in my case, then what we have done, that's mean before the examination, that's mean in the prior to the examination, and somehow in the middle part of the examination. And examination mean our studying period. If I have taken it as a 6 months period from the day one, and from the middle, and very close to the examination, all these three, then we should have a clear, typical plan on what to pass the examination, and with doing all, if I'm in the audit sector, then the completing the deadline audits, completing the task given to me at my office, I have to complete that. And as well as I have my own achievement, own target to complete the examination. Then for that, I should have a plan. For this both things, I should have a plan. And that plan, it should be a realistic plan. It should not be the unrealistic thing. Working till 12 and again wake up in the morning at 4, then you may, that condition, it's not good for your health. Then you have to have a realistic plan. These are the activities, if I have taken a day, these are the activities I have to do within this day. Other than these activities in my office, afterwards, at least 1 hour, I need to allocate to my studies. Whatever the subjects you're doing, you should have a proper plan to pass the examination. In that planning, planning means always in your mind, there is a thinking, okay, I have to do this. I shall pass this. Then that intention, and with the happy, you shall need to allocate a time very initial stage. You have to allocate time with the proper realistic plan, not for one, but for both. You cannot successful if you are not without working and only doing examination. No, it's not successful. If I have taken all these strategic level subjects, these are very practical. If I have taken my one, the taxation is it's a realistic subject. Then it's not on the hypothesis. Then therefore, you have to, day one itself, Lamai, you have to plan. You're planning not at the day one, however, you're planning very close to the examination. Then that is not the one of the good point, but from the day one itself, you have to plan with the realistic plan, with the main intention. Anyhow, I have selected this path. Therefore, anyhow, I have to pass the examination for what? To be a chartered accountant. It's a very professional, very practical thing. Then therefore, I should need to manage my work and as well as the examination with the proper plan. That's the one thing, one strategy which you all can use. And the second strategy, which is anyway, you have to prioritize your work. Don't take the entire things in the world to your head. Then you have to prioritize your work. If I have taken work, I'm dividing it to two: your office, your personal life. In your personal life, one priority, anyhow, you have to give for your studies. Then therefore, if you are working at your office, maybe 9 to 5, maybe late night after 5, maybe early morning, but however, allocate, prioritize a time. It is not a stipulated, this is from 5 a.m. or this is 4 a.m. I'm starting over till at the time of the 10 p.m. No, not like that. Whatever the realistic possible time, allocate at least think, today I'm allocating 1 hour for my studies. Then it's not at the last, but from the first, very initially, that means if it is from, if I have taken January to June examination, then at least after New Year and all these things, celebrating all, then you can start to allocate 1 hour for your work, the studies. Then while you're doing your working, and also you have allocated a reasonable time for your studies, then that allocating proper time from the very beginning of your courses, it's very effective for you to go further, or for you to balance these two, work life as well as the studies, because there are no any in this two, it is not combined, and it's not giving a pressure to you. If you had done this earlier, that means done this earlier means you have done the studies at the very initial stage and you have a platform. You know about yourself, okay, I'm in this position now. Then at the last, maybe in the study leave period, I can manage. Then that platform, that foundation, you have to take by prioritizing your work. Work mean your office work as well as your studies, and allocate in a reasonable time for your studies from the day one itself. That's the second thing. And the third, if I have taken a very practical thing, the time wasting. Now, like effectively time management, you have to little bit reduce the time wasting activity, at least for this period. Is I know we like for the happiness, we like for the joy, and we need to enjoy our life, but for this period, little bit stop the time wasting activities. And that time, try to allocate for your examination, for your studies. Then it is one of the thing. It is for the, I'm not telling for the entire life. It's for this period which you are particularly trying to pass the examination in that period. Please allocate your time to the effective manner without in the more and more time wasting activities. Okay.
Thank you, madam, for sharing your experience. Dasun sir, as a world prize producing lecturer, why should a person choose Infinity Space?
Okay, before answering to the question, adding one point, one of my personal experience to the points what Nayananjali mentioned. So students should focus on what they do at this moment. If I take personal experience, when I was doing chartered, I was at university, I was following BSc Finance special degree. Then I was doing ACCA. Plus I was working at KPMG. So a lot of deadline audits were there, PLCs, worked until late night. In addition to that, I was lecturing as well, right? For this, financial reporting subject for the professional accountancy courses. So then a lot of people ask, okay, how to balance the things? So it's simple, right? So you focus on what you need to do at the moment, right now. Dedicate your 100% effort on that particular matter, right? Then the people were asking, okay, don't you have any family life? Don't you have any personal life? No, I had. So at the university, I participated, most of the functions, as well as we had a lot of parties. Then I'm from down south. I visited my parents at least once a month, right? So I enjoyed. So while studying, while focusing on the key thing that you need to focus at the moment, right? So that is actually, I make that particular point to answer to the question that was raised, how Infinity, why students should select Infinity and how Infinity can help you. The model that Infinity is following, that is recorded video format, right? Plus maybe the live revision at the end, would definitely help students to balance the things, because you can watch the videos anytime, any number of times, and from anywhere. You can be a person who want to study in the morning, then you can wake up in the early morning and watch the videos. If you want to study at night, you can do that. While traveling, if you are traveling by a bus, you can watch the video, because a lot of students are doing that, right? You just need to have two earphones, earplugs, right, without disturbing to the others. So and the other thing is, so as you can watch the videos again and again, you can be a quick learner or else you can be a slow learner. If you are a quick learner, watching the video at once is enough for you. But if you are a slow learner, you might need to watch the video twice or thrice. So that is also facilitated in this particular model offered by the Infinity, right? Then why students should select Infinity? So this is a general advice what I can give you. Because students should be very careful when they are selecting the educational learning provider as well as the lecturer. Because the most important asset for the institute or any educational institute is the lecturers. So obviously you need to look at who your lecturer is for the particular subject that you're going to select, right? Number 2, look at the facilities. Number 3, look at the value of money, cost advantage. Now, in this current environment, everybody say that I am the best and we are the best educational, tuition provider. So you make your own assessment about the lecturer. You look at, okay, how many number of years of experience that he has, how many prize winners that he has produced, how much of commitment that he has put. Most importantly, get the feedback from the students of the previous batch, where they will explain, okay, how good the lecturer was and how good the institute was. Taking another personal experience, like when it comes to the subject SL1, which I teach to the students, completed the revision actually 1.5 months before the examination, and have done a revision of 70 hours, 50 hours of recorded videos, as well as 20 hours of live revision, and spent actually 6 hours, more than 6 hours actually, on the pre-scene analysis, right? So I'm pretty sure that all other lecturers, fellow lecturers would have done the same thing. So you can get that, you can get a good service or good actually professional service from the lecture panel who are having multiple number of years of experience at Infinity. Then the second thing, as I mentioned, you need to look at the facilities. It's not a physical classroom here. So what you need to look at is the platform. So the recorded quality or the quality of the recorded videos. So pretty sure that you would have watched the videos, right? What is available in the LMS and would experience the LMS, what is offered by Infinity. Where again, what I can say is one of the important aspect is Infinity is doing this LMS with the support of Dialog, right? I don't need to explain you how technologically they are advanced, right? So Infinity is actually the only institute, only learning educational tuition provider in this professional education who actually have this collaboration with Dialog and have offered this particular LMS to the students, right? So the video quality, LMS access, so a lot of advanced and good facilities are available in terms of the LMS. And the most important thing is, if you have a Dialog connection, you don't need to incur any data cost, right? Because the third thing that you need to consider is anyway the cost. Now, as it is online, as it is recorded videos, you don't need to incur traveling cost and all. In addition to that, when you watch the videos online, recorded videos, or else when you participate for the live sessions, you don't need to incur any data cost, right? You don't need to incur any data cost if you have a Dialog connection. But if you have other connections, you need to incur certain nominal cost that is very low comparing with the market rates. So that also kind of an advantage that you have at Infinity. So highlighting again, look at the lecturer, evaluate the lecturer, then look at the platform and look at the value addition or the value for money. So once you compare these three, I would think that okay, Infinity would come top of the list. So this is actually why the students should select Infinity. I think I answered to your question.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chandana, as a lecturer, what would you expect from a student since learning are done online?
Right. Now, I have seen some students and they say that they become sleepy when they watch videos. And please make sure that you are not small kids now. You all are matured. And you cannot let your emotions to control you. You should be able to control your emotions. Some students encourage us to do more live sessions. And so this model of teaching is not meant to do more live sessions, but we will do it just to have a small change. Your biggest enemy is not anyone else. Your biggest enemy is not anyone else. Who is the biggest enemy? Your negative mindset. That will knock you down. Your negative mindset will stop you from progressing. And that will stop you from developing. And you need to destroy your negative mindset and you need to stay positive always. And since most of the lecturers have taken their own experiences, I don't like to talk about myself, but what has made me what I am today is my passion of teaching. I love teaching more than sometimes I love myself. I love teaching as much as a singer loves singing. I love teaching as much as a painter loves painting. Now, in physical classes, we have sometimes done lectures all day long, starting from 6:30 right up to 7:30, 8 o'clock, standing, remaining standing, maybe 12 hours. That is because I had this intense interest of teaching. Now, Dale Carnegie once said, you walking just 2 meters with your whining and nagging wife will be more tiring than you walking 100 of kilometers with your adoring sweetheart. That is not because of anything else, because you have interest. If you have lost the interest, that will be, there's nothing called tiredness, there's nothing called fatigue. It's only just about whether you love what you do or whether you don't love. If you are passionate about what you are doing, if you love what you do, you will not lose your interest. So your discipline has to be what? You need to stay positive, your positive mindset. Your dream is not something that you need to see while sleeping. Your dream has to be something that will keep you awake. Now see, you organize a trip the previous day that will keep you awake. Why? That is your intense interest, your love, you're passionate of doing something. So why can't you develop that for your learning? Why can't you why can't you do that for your studies? You need to do it. You need to love the subject. And the teacher or the lecturer has to be someone who will make you love for the subject, who will make you love for your learning. So your positive mindset is the key. If you do not have it, you need to start cultivating. Now, when you get up in the morning, please, the first thing you need to do is to cultivate your positive mindset. You need to strongly determine that I will do it. I need to start loving this subject. I need to start loving learning. So why can't you do that? You all are matured enough. And this is not spoon feeding. We can't do spoon feeding. So biggest enemy is not anyone else. Biggest enemy will be your negative mindset. So you need to destroy it. And you need to identify your biggest enemy. Now, if you feel that you cannot keep studying over hours and hours, you can study 1 hour, take a break, and then you can restart your study. If you work without a break, that will break. But if you take a break and work, that will break through. So you can do it. You have your own pattern. You have your own way of doing something. So what is important now? I have my own experience. I have an own style of doing, but you might have a different way. So discipline is what? You cannot come and say, sir, when I keep watching the videos, I become sleepy. No, that is all right for someone like, doing O level. You are not at that stage now. Second, your distraction. In my personal experience, my biggest distraction will be the phone. So you need to keep your phone switched off. Automatically, your hand will keep going to the phone. That happens. If you do it, effective hours of learning will be reduced. Please, you need to discipline yourself just to keep yourself away from the phone. Or you can, even, you can, completely switch off the phone while studying and you need to focus on your studies. In my personal experience, my biggest distraction is the phone. Maybe Facebook, maybe some videos. That will automatically happen. It happens always. So as a result, don't be distracted and you need to identify what your distractions are. Then, as I said before, now you need to keep everything ready. You need to buy whatever you need to buy, maybe the standard book, maybe, the auditing lecturers will explain the required materials, maybe the standard book, maybe the study packs, maybe 6. You need to keep everything bought and keep them ready. When we do the lectures, especially for strategic level 1, we will be referring to the standard book and we will be quoting certain paragraph. If you do not have the required materials right now, and you will be little helpless. You will feel little uncomfortable. So please, you need to keep your materials ready. And you need to keep the standard book tagged. You need to keep certain areas highlighted. You need to keep certain, topics highlighted. And you should know how to use the standard book right now so that you are not in a panic at the exam. You can see the other people, other students using the books effectively, but we still do not know how to use it. So please keep things arranged right now. You don't feel how fast the time passes. The invigilator will come and ask. He will come and say, time passes. Will you? Because you still do not know how to use the standard book. Please, we are giving you the proper guidance right now. because we can't do it every day. We can't do it always. You need to discipline yourself, allocate enough time, evenly over 6 months' time. You need to buy your materials and keep things ready. And you need to watch the videos every day and don't keep postponing things. Don't wait at the last moment. Don't panic. And you need to discipline yourself in a way that you identify what your distractions are and you will keep them away from you. So when there are setbacks in your life, maybe economic problems, maybe family problems, so don't be distracted once again when there are setbacks. You need to sit back and see what the best solutions are. You all are mature enough. Spoon feeding is not possible. And please be intelligent and be ready right now. And this is not rocket science, and you can easily do this. You know, it's very simple. It's just a matter of committing yourself and being passionate about what you do. Love what you do what you love. You need to start loving this subject right now. And then last time there was a lady and she had given up her studies for about 20 years and she's now 46 and she was sharing experience with us. She did the paper. She is now so happy. She is very confident. She attended all the live session. She answered the question. She wrote answers. She practiced. And she said she's very happy now. And, you know, learning can be a lifetime exercise. There's no time as such. And what is important is to make sure that you will pursue your objectives and your dreams. And please do it. From tomorrow onwards, you can start doing that. Don't keep postponing. That is the biggest mistake. So you need to discipline yourself. How? Allocate time, buy the required materials, watch the videos. Every weekend there will be videos being uploaded. If you have any problem, please speak to us. We will be there to help you out. And the most important thing, when we start the live sessions, revision classes, please attend. You need to be an active participant in the live session. And that is the way forward. And if you have anything, you can speak to us. You can, share your problems with us. We will help you out in every possible way we can. And I think I have answered your question. And once again, I must thank for Infinity for hosting this. And I must thank students who took part in the session. And thank you once again, Shashidu. I think I have answered your question.
Thank you, sir. Next, we would like to move on with Mr. Suranga Indunil to inspire our students.
Yeah, thanks, Sasindu. And I think at the last comment, Chandana sir has had a lot of great thoughts. So students, what I'm going to talk now will be very useful for you in your personal life as well as in the journey of becoming chartered accountant. Now, I hope you can see my screen. Sasindu, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's about three things. If you make a 23 a winning year, the immediate thing to win your examination so that you become a chartered accountant, and that in turn will help win in your career. But of course, you can do another session as to how to pick your career, become a very successful and impactful leader. Then how to live your life is a much bigger challenge. I can ask from all of you, are you happy now? Or are you worried about what happened yesterday? Are you thinking what I am going to do tomorrow at work and you are worried? Usually speaking, everyone, if you ask, they have something to worry. So we are not living our life. So how to be happy in the life, the biggest challenge that we will. So I would like to ask, by collating all of the thoughts, great thoughts shared by my colleague lecturers, ask these powerful questions from you. If you take now, any moment in your life, are you living that moment? Right? What do you mean by that? It's a very difficult question. And if you want to be very successful in anything that you do, you have to live in this moment. But there's a bigger meaning in that. I can talk for 1 hour what is living in the moment. But to cut down that 1 hour to few minutes, that how to live in this moment is about giving something your fullest attention. Let us say now everybody spoke about allocating some time for studies. Someone allocating 1 hour, and during that 1 hour, every time you are going to be distracted. Lot of things, lot of thoughts come into your mind. You cannot concentrate. Anything that you do, if you give full attention, do it mindfully. That 1 hour that you spend, you will learning 5 minutes of power study. In my words, I would like to say that as power study. In 5 minutes, right? චුට්ටක් කියන්නේ ගොඩක්. How do you make that 5 minutes powerful, right? So giving full attention, practice it. It's a development in mind that how do you practice that? And remember, breathing is such a powerful when you are under stress. Take a deep breath and start again, face that situation. So you are going to deliver a speech or your exam is tomorrow. During the exam, take a deep breath. 1 minute or 30 seconds. It gives you a lot of energy. And there's a lot of science behind this as well. And like Chandana also spoke this point, that your phone is going to be one of your biggest enemies. So every time what destroys your tranquility of the mind or your attention or your focus is the phone. When I say that, the social media is going to kill you. Very, very important. Even you may want to selectively listen to the news that you want. So generating positivity is going to be really helpful. And then finally, to enjoy this moment in your life, whenever you have a free time, you walk out and enjoy the nature. Not, money will never bring you that happiness. We'll stay in a hotel, it's just one night. But every time the nature, for example, I'm giving nature as an example, whatever you see, enjoy that moment in your life. So I will ask you again, are you happy now? Right? It's not how do you practice. So now the last thought that I want to leave with you, and I need your full attention. And if you want to watch more about this, you can watch Power of Self-Energy. So diamond is one of the hardest substance found on earth, and you don't know there is a diamond of energy in you. So how do you make 2023 a year of self-discovery? When I say that every one of you have something unique in you, and you have to figure out and then make sure that you are going to realize and at least make 23 a year of that realization. So what I'm showing you on the screen is extremely important. Now we are talking about next exam. But think, what do you want to do in your life? You want to be a CEO. Have that thought very clearly defined. You want to be a good human being. That's a much bigger goal. You want to be president. Anything. Today, who you are is irrelevant. The moment you think bigger, this energy push you, keep pushing you to accomplish what you want to achieve. Then automatically that self-drive comes. A lot of my colleague lecturers share their personal experience as to how that self-drive enable them to work hard towards their target. So then this diamond elements is going to come. The first step is for you to take a very closer look at, even when you study, what are the subjects that are trickier for you, because inherently you are weak in those subjects, right? You need to really do a study and see what are my strengths and weaknesses in anything that you can apply, and how do you really capitalize on your inner strength, right? I would like to take a lot of example, but I don't spend more than 2 minutes on this. And like all my colleague lecturers mentioned, I think better if we can mute, there's some background noise. So the second element of this diamond, once you discover who you are, so next year you will carefully see, okay, this is the gap that I have. I have this source of energy. I'm going to really make a difference because this is me and there is only one person like me. And then whatever you do, say take your study, like Chandana sir finally mentioned, that do what you love, passion, that you like it, you love it, and you want to achieve it. So that passion has to drive you, and perseverance. Whatever passion you have, if you are a person who is going to be discouraged when something doesn't work, that's a problem. Perseverance, නොපසු බට උත්සාහය. අභියෝග වලට අභියෝග කරමින් ඉදිරියට යන යෝධ ශක්තිය. So that can make a big difference, right? And then remain patient, right? The patience is very important, otherwise you're going to be unhappy. So now when you really get these diamond elements to come, what will happen? You will also figure out the right approach to your studies and then converting your weaknesses into strength. And then I'm talking beyond the exam here. Students, if you apply this to exam, nothing, right? So whatever you want, you will realize. Think finally, if you think money is important, so one day, today your salary may be, let's say, 100,000, and there is a day you will reach, I mean, it may be about a million. But one day you will realize that money can ruin you. So therefore, you will start now practicing that as requested. I just spend few minutes to really take a deep breath now and think what you really want to make a bigger change. In mind, at least you can make a bigger change, because new year can have a big resolution, and one such resolution will really put into numbers that these are the hours that I'm going to live. Before that, I want to leave a legacy. What is? Just think about.
Thank you, sir, for sharing this valuable information. With that, now we have proceeded towards the end of this webinar. It's time for you to direct your questions. Feel free to direct it in our chat box, or please feel free to unmute your mic and talk. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening to you all. I just wanted to know, other than the videos, how can we get the tunes and all? Is it also along? Can we purchase along with the course like that?
Yeah, actually, along with the video, so you can download the tutorial as well. So it is provided in the PDF format. So as with the lecture itself, you can get it downloaded.
Right. Thank you very much, sir. And one more question is the answers and not suggested, like in some cases we might need some answers also. So that also will be given, right?
Didn't get your point exactly.
No, with some tutorials, there may be, like, let's say, some practice questions. So in any case, now when we work it out, so we might get into troubles. In that case, do we have some suggested solutions for that, those practice questions?
Yeah, so all the stuff what is discussed, if a question is discussed, definitely the answer would be given. So other than now, let's say lecturers are normally having their own tutors other than the study text. So whatever the question is there in the tutorials, so the answer will also be provided. Anyway, the study text and the past paper suggested solutions, you can get it from CS Sri Lanka, but the whatever relevant to the lecturers, notes and all that, so the questions, answers will be provided. Hope I have answered the question.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Please direct that question again.
Sir, can you elaborate more about the major syllabus change in SL1 subject, sir? What are the major changes related to removed areas and newly added, and or more elaborate on the non-financial reporting things, sir? Thank you.
Yeah, actually, let me take that question. Now, the learning outcomes with the change, if you look at essentially the auditing heaviness, there was earlier thinking that auditing standards you have to read. So that is now clarified. Now, more specifically, the revised learning outcome, if you go to one by one, the still similar knowledge you need to have, but in exam point of view, they will avoid testing detail auditing aspects. So more specifically, when you learn, if you take a question now, this time past paper is a good example that they are giving a case study and asking, while you apply an accounting standard knowledge, how do you really use that knowledge to identify risk of misstatement? So in that, there are several learning outcomes. I don't think now we need one by one learning outcome. We are doing a separate. You can see those sessions we will do during the course. But when it comes to those current learning outcome, of course, now there are no lot of new content brought into the syllabus as far as the risk of misstatement are concerned. Same learning outcomes, but the angle through which you look at has changed, meaning that those questions will be tested in the exam just from a business perspective. That is one. And non-financial reporting also is already in the syllabus. There is no change. The only thing so far they haven't tested any question, and now they want to bring more attention to this area. And even CA has recently published some framework on non-financial reporting. So essentially, this syllabus change really helps you to see, like I earlier said, this as a one subject. One, there is accounting standards, consolidation. The other side, how do you really identify risk of misstatement, right? Without that heavy audit procedures. So from that angle, but simply using some of the auditing principle. For example, if you take the understanding of financial statement assertions, definitely you should know that. Otherwise, you cannot answer. But then do you need to know very detail of auditing standard? Answer is no. So then CA is going to include a separate, now if open book is removed, instead they are going to give you a separate open book referential, which will probably include material from study text. So it is going to make your life easy, simply that. So we don't need to go now individual learning outcome, but those lecturers, myself and Nilendra, when we are doing this course, you really learn the thing.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Have we answered all other questions? Chandan sir, Dasun, Nilendra, all other. I think in the chat itself we have responded, no?
Any more questions from the audience?
And one point, Nilendra here, just one point to highlight to the audience. Now we don't know what will happen in the coming 6 months. So everyone has to plan out properly, because if you go back to the past 6 months, the country has gone through rapid changes. So we don't know what will happen in the next 6 months also. So therefore, from the first day onwards, from now onwards, start a proper planning and complete your studies as soon as possible when the videos are uploaded and when the live sessions are going, because my experience is last year, I think our students, for some reasons, we were distracted for different reasons. So in the coming 6 months also, we are going through a very volatile situation, the country, the world economy. So better to plan out and better to execute your plans very effectively. As all the lecturers have mentioned, students don't leave it to the last moment. So that's one important thing that I wanted to highlight. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a big point. So you have to act today. Every day is important. Thanks, Nilesh. Jacindu, have you answered all the questions? Are there more questions?
So far, we have answered everything.
And I have this one requirement, is it compulsory for demo? They have published, is it compulsory? Currently, they English, I think. CS1.
Any more questions from the audience? Seems like we have answered everything so far. Since the enrollments for CA final year has already started right now, we would like to invite everyone to enroll, and we personally, with the group of Infinity Space, we personally think that you guys found this session very helpful. And with that, we would like to wrap up the session, thanking to our panelists and as well as the audience for taking valuable time to join this webinar. Thank you.